Hello and welcome back to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. We are continuing on with the Wurmspat Beastgrave warband unboxing and build video. And this one, we're going to build. So I'm pretty excited. These models seem pretty straightforward to put together. Bunch of pieces and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get this. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So let's begin with number 1. So first up, you're looking for 17 and 18 on this sprue here. So we have 17 right here. Let's get some tools so we can point. So on this sprue, so 17 here for the head, and then we need 18, which is somewhere right there, right in the middle. So that one there. So let's cut those out and we'll stick them together. So I hope you are doing very well. This video will be a bit of a build along, follow along kind of thing, like I have been doing with some other videos for different games and things like that. So definitely feel free to join in, although you might already have these models already and put together, but if you haven't, definitely join in, and I hope you are doing very well today. I'm not going to go too in-depth in trimming everything off, just sort of what is required, just so we can get this video finished in a fairly reasonable time. We can always come back and fix up some other bits. So, okay, first tip, I always seem to trim the pegs just a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. Just because of physics and just how the glue works. You don't want to take up too much room with the glue. So the head will go on that way, and it slides in pretty easily. Probably a bit too much glue this time around, but there we go. So we have the head ready. Next up, we need to build the body. So the head goes into the body. So actually, no, it's the other way around. The head goes into the back of the body, and then we put the front on, and then we put the sides on that. So let's bring up the sprues again. We are looking for part 19, which is the big back of the body, which is this one in this sprue right here. So at the top of that sprue. So if you haven't seen one of these building videos before, sometimes I'll just be quiet, other times not so much. I think I might be able to get away with cutting off only this section here. That should be alright. I should be able to I think that gets covered up. This arm, we'll just trim it up now anyway, and we'll come back and fix it later. Just want to get everything on and good, and we'll cut this bit of the leg off. Sorry if it's not in shot. We'll put that there. So now we need to put the head on, which there's the hole right there and the peg, and that'll slide in. But again, I'm going to trim a little bit off. And that piece went flying somewhere. I heard it go across the room. Just a little bit of gluing there, a little bit in there. And that's all you really need. So you just got to sort of put it around like that. Hopefully you can see. I might actually bring the camera just a little bit closer. Alright, so that slides in. So let's just move this down a bit, so we can get a little bit closer and actually try and get it straight. There we go. Okay. And I've knocked the head out already. It happens. Okay, so just be careful with this bit here, particularly with the head. It will knock out. So next step we need, I'll just bring in this sprue this time around because we don't need the other one. We are looking for part 20, which is the front of the body. So part 20 is at the bottom of the sprue there. So the last bit down there, next to the base. So chop that off. Careful not to cut any of the pegs off. Sometimes you will need those pegs to be as long as they are on the sprue. I don't think so much with this model, but with some other models, sometimes have pegs that go all the way through from one side of the body to the other. So you do need to be careful of that. And there's a few points on here that you probably do want to clean up. Okay, so with this one, I'm not going to cut that peg because it is a fairly long peg, and I'm not going to cut the other one. But it does mean we can fill up a lot of this space with some glue. So you don't need much glue. Just enough to sort of get a contact point in there. And this will just slide right in together. So I think you probably should cut some of the pegs off because I'm giving a whole bunch of force just to clip in together. So wiggle it around a bit, see if that'll tie in. It hasn't, you can kind of see that it's not perfect, particularly at the top. I don't know if you can see the gap there, just along there and along the other side. But we can fix that up with some green stuff, and this sort of will get covered anyway by the looks of it based on the instructions. So back to this 22 and 21. So it's not that sprue, it's this one here. So we're looking for, so we've got 22 at the top there. Sorry if there's a bit of shadow in the way. I've been playing with my lights and I haven't set them up properly, but yeah, what are you gonna do? And 21 is just down there. So we'll cut those out, and they have long pegs on them. Oh, I love the detail. I love the, like the bony spikes. If I can get that in shot. It's a real focus. The bony spikes that Nurgle stuff has. I really do like that. I will cut that out. And this one, I will leave it. We don't need to fix it up at the moment. We can come back to that. So, then we have 22 on this side here. Whoops, this side here. So we just plug that straight in, I think, by the looks of it. Yeah, it looks like that can just plug in. We don't need too much glue in there. That will work fine. So 22 will just plugs in like that, and that just goes in very easily. So all we really need there is just a little bit of glue around. And make sure you get the orientation correct for this one. And that slides in like that. Okay, we're getting there. It's looking good so far. I like the look of it. So yeah, I thought we can get a pointer. I think we can bring this into focus. Is it focusing? Yeah, so there is a little bit on the arm there. We can get that in. That's not going to work, is it? There we go, that's better. There is a little bit on the arm there that I thought wasn't going to show up. I thought that would be undercover, so you know, you can easily get access to that, so it's not too bad. Now, the last thing we need is the base and the weapon, which is 23 and 24. You get the right sprue, that'll be useful. So we know this is going to be the base, 24. And then 23 for the weapon, which is a very, very nice weapon. I do love the design, particularly for Nurgle stuff. It's just so much, little bits of detail in there. So for this, I think what I'll do, I will trim up the arm a bit. It looks like I'm going to have access to everything else anyway, once it's all together. Yeah, so we'll put put in the base first. So this will just slide right in. But I do like to put a bit of glue around, just to make sure that it does actually melt and glue down. So there we go, that's all the way in. The head is a little bit wobbly, but that will glue down properly. Just checking that foot. So that foot, the front of the foot is part of the base. So something to consider there. And then this, just seeing if it clicks on the base somewhere. It doesn't look like it does. So easy. This will just go in. Might take a little bit of fiddling, but it'll go in without any issue. Oh, when I say that, I can't actually get it in the base. Okay, so it seems to be at a little bit of a weird angle. So I thought it was like straight up and down, but it's not. It's a weird angle. So there we go. There is the first model. Very, very nice. I like it. So there's a lot of detail on there. So you get some really good, nice close-ups of this model. Lots of skulls with maggots and everything. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun painting this model. It's lots of little detail, lots of dints and things like that. So here we go. That's the first one. So let's move on to the next one, which is the witch. I'm pretty sure it's the witch. I don't know, but I'm calling it a witch anyway. So this is where the other sprue comes into play. Let's actually We'll put it this way this time because this is the way the actual sprue goes. So first off, we need to get 1 and 2. So the arm goes into the back of the body. So let's check out 1 and 2. See what we got. So we have the back of the body. So be careful with that one. I'll almost cut one of the pegs off. It'll be fine because it's a foot peg. No big deal. But just something to be aware of. And 2. So this bulbousy arm over here. Okay. So this looks like it will just slot right into there without any problems. But it looks like you will have to take care of this part of the arm first. So we'll just trim that up. And that looks nice. We can always come back and have a go again. And for this one, I'm just going to trim. Clean up this little bit here. Sorry, I haven't got it in camera. It's really difficult to do sometimes when the camera is in a bad spot. Okay, and we could always come back and fix that up. So there are some mold lines in here that, yeah, it's easy to get access to it now, so you may as well clean it. But it looks good. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of glue in here. Not much, just, come on, little dot. Come on, out you come. There we go. Just a little tiny dot. Just to get it to lock in and hold. So I've just pushed that in. You could put a bit at the front as well, but I'm just sort of pushing that in just to get in the right spot. So now we need part 3, which is quite simple to find. It's that bit right below one of the bases. So that bit there. So we'll cut this one out, and this has the other, I guess, foot, even though you can't see that foot. Oh, and I do apologise for the train in the background. I have no control over the train timetable. I wish I did. Although, if I did, there'd be no trains running ever. So I'm just going to tidy this up a bit. It's nothing too bad. Everything seems pretty good on that one. It's just that little mark there that we can come back and fix later. And I'm just going to clean up that. This is a big peg, so I don't particularly want to cut too much off it. Okay. So this then goes in, just looking at the holes there. So there's a hole, peg there, and there's a hole there and a hole there. And it looks like, I'm just sort of lining it up just to see how it goes together. It's a weird one. But I think once the pegs are lined up, it should go in fine. And just to be safe, just putting in a little bit of glue here. It's not necessary. There's a few tricks that you can do to fix up any gaps in fabrics and things like that. So that's one there. And, okay, that's a weird one. You can't actually see how it goes because, you know, you can't actually physically see it. You can't get your eyes in there. But once it does, it just sort of locks in. So there are some gaps there. But you can fill that up with some green stuff and even glue. I've been trying cleaning it with some glue. So I'm just making sure that it's all pressed together. So there is a joint there, which is actually fine. It's actually a really good spot. There's a joint there in the fold, which is good. But then you have on the head, you can't quite get there. But it's possible that may be covered up. I'm not 100% sure. So when we move on, we need to get 5 for the head and 6 for the arm and tentacle, which is kind of creepy. So we'll go 4 and 5, which is on this sprue. And 4 and 5. So 5 is the head there, and the arm is that one there. So let's cut all those off. The head is pretty good. So I haven't, like I said, I'm just sort of cutting off bits that I might not get access to later. Like this bit here might be a bit difficult. There's a few other spots here and there. So that, I think I might be able to clean that up later. Just going to clean up some of the mold lines. I think I will come back. I'm going to come back and clean the mold lines anyway. I just sort of want to get rid of some of them. It might be difficult. Just thinking about how that would go on here. No, I can get access to all the mold lines later on. That's fine. So let's stick the arm on first. So there's a big gap there that it's going to cover up, which is really nice. And that can all glue there. So there you've got the peg hole there, and then there's a little sort of a peg there that will just slide in. So I don't think we really need to do too much work to get that to slide in. Just a little bit of glue around there will solve the problem. Yeah, and that just goes in really nicely. It's not perfect. I think a bit of maneuvering around might fix that up. I'm sort of pushing fairly hard, and this is why I do cut some of the peg holes, because you can see it's not actually really grabbing onto it very well. So I might... No, I can't actually pull it off now. Might have just made it worse. Yeah, I made the gap worse. But we can go back through with some green stuff and fix that up if you want, or even just pump in a bit of glue. That should be fine. But for the most part, that's all right. And you can still have access to those mold lines to clean up later on. So, very good. And for the head, let's just clean up a little bit. Let's try and actually do this on camera. That would be useful for you guys. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay. So this will slot in to that hole there. So we'll just put a little bit of glue there. That was probably way too much. And that will slide in, and it just locks in fairly easily. So there we go. We are getting there. It's very nice. So the last thing we need is the hair. So we'll do the hair and put the hair on, and then we need to make the little familiar. I don't know what their name is, but that's fine. So 6 obviously is really easy to find, is the hair. So we'll cut that off first. I'm going to give this a little trim now. This is going to be a very flimsy bit, so once it's on, it's going to be difficult to get access to everything. So this is somewhat difficult. Just trying to be super careful with it. With little bits and pieces. This is actually going to be a bit of a pain, but it's really difficult to see on camera because it's so flimsy, and I felt like I just snapped the hair then. I mean, I love how the current kits have all this detail, but they do make for very flimsy models, which is really difficult sometimes. So just a little dot of glue in the eye hole, and then we can put this over the front. And this just slides in. There we go. You could definitely put some more glue in there to tie it all in. I might actually just a little bit in there. Probably wrecked it a bit, but that's fine. There are a lot of gaps there. You do want to push that in. You can see, I don't know if you can see on the screen there, just where one of the horns are, there's a little bit of a gap that has a little bit of a play. So I'm just going to hold that in for a second. We'll see how that goes. And then we have to build the familiar. And that will be 2/3 of the warband done. So very nice. So there are definitely some gaps. So this arm, you could probably do a bit better. I feel that if you cut the peg a little bit more closely, then you'll do it. So the last 2 bits are the 8 and 9. So the 2 halves of the familiar. And we'll cut that out. Super simple. And I will actually trim this up a bit. I feel that this is going to need it. It's going to be difficult to deal with later. And yeah, it looks all right. There's a little bit here that just needs to be trimmed up a bit. Okay, and this can go together. I'm actually going to cut this peg a little bit just to get a little bit of glue space in there. And stupid me is not test fitting, as you should. Should always test fit, but I'm going ahead with it. There we go. Slides in pretty well. And you got some maggots that hide the gaps and everything like that. And there's a little bit on the leg. So again, this is a fiddly part, but I'm just doing this just so we can get it flush on the base. Okay. Now for the base, we need number 7. So, which one's this? This one here. So number 7 is in one of the corners. The bases you're able to figure out pretty easily. Not much of an issue. And of course, I'm not trimming the bases at the moment, because honestly, I couldn't be bothered. But I just want to get this all finished. So the base looks like the witch, or whatever her name is, goes on this end here to cover all that spot. Yeah, so there's a little peg, just a little nub right on the end there that will go into a little hole there. So for this one, generally I would put glue on this bit, but well, I'm going to do some anyway, just to give it a bit of traction, I guess. A bit of friction to hold it down, and that just slides in really super easily. So there she is. And the last one, this little fella here. Just tiny little bits of glue on its feet. So you can see there is the hole there, and then there is a little ball socket, I guess you can call it. If I can actually get it in. Difficult to show putting them in the bases. There we go. Okay, so that one's in. Nice and easy. It's like a little demon familiar. So there we go. This is probably one of my favourite models out of the kit. And one of my favourite models in general. Definitely my favourite from the Beastgrave kit. I think it's just really cool. And yeah, this arm is very annoying. It's really annoying me. I'm going to have to come back and fix up some stuff. Like, I've got to come back and fix up all the mold lines and everything. But here we go. So there we go. There's another one done. Now the final one. This one's relatively straightforward. There's only a few parts to put together. So first thing we need to do 10, 11, then we stick 12 on, then the arms, and then the head into the base. So we need 10 and 11. So 10 and 11, where are you? There's 10 there, and 11 is on the second sprue. So the first one where you have to grab things from 2 sprues. Pretty straightforward. I mean, there's the Beastgrave Warhammer Underworld models. You're only ever going to get like 2 sprues, so you're going to be able to find them. They're not going to be a sprue which has like 100 pieces on it, which you can get with some Games Workshop kits. But they're the fun ones. I like those ones, particularly if it's just one model. And I'm hoping that I can get some big models soon and just do a big long series of building them. Because I think that would be pretty cool. I'll probably do it on a live stream or something like that, if you are interested. Okay, we can come back and fix that knee up. That's fine. Okay, let's see how this actually goes together, because I'm not 100% sure. So it seems to be it's one side. So, is that how it goes together? Okay, yeah, from this angle, this side, you can see that the fat folds line up, which is always nice. So we can actually put a little bit of glue on this one. Come on out, you come. A little bit of glue on there. And yeah, I think that's all we need for now. And we will line the fat fold up. There we go. So I'm just going to hold that in. So you do get some mold lines, but you get some join lines there and at the top. Okay, then we need number 12, which is going to be on this one because we only have the base left on this one. So we can put that aside for now. So number 12, where are you, number 12? It's going to be the lower half of the body. And I think I want to clean up this bit here, if I can get it in camera. It's a bit messy, but it'll do. And we'll get this fat line as well. I'll just go in and tidy that up, because I am going to get access to the mold lines later. And it is a big pain to me that I'm not cleaning up the mold lines at the moment. You have no idea. It's really hurting. Because putting models together really is favourite part of the hobby for me. And this is such a weird angle. Okay, Okay, yeah, there it is. I just couldn't feel like it was going in, but it just sort of slides in. So I'm just going to push that in for a little bit, just to give it a bit of extra grip, and that should be fine. Not perfect, but it'll hold in. Now we need the 2 arms, so 13 and 14, back to the same sprue. We'll actually cut the head out as well while we're here, because the order at the moment doesn't particularly matter. Okay, what can we ignore for now? I might actually cut this bit off here. And I should say, make sure you've got a sharp blade. I did not check the sharpness of my blades, and I can feel that it's not as sharp as I would like it. And you can kind of see I'm sometimes putting a little bit of force into trimming up the sprue marks and things like that. So definitely always have sharp new blades. And the head, we can come back and fix that up. That's fine. Right. Actually, before we do, I just want to chop off this little bit of the foot, because this is going to cause problems later. And if you have sharp blades, you're less likely to cut yourself. And I'm speaking very much from experience. I've cut myself up a lot. Right. Let's put this one on first. Change my mind. So this one goes here like that. Pretty straightforward. Bit of glue. Got a bit too overzealous with that glue. In you get. There we go. It locks into place. You can feel it when it's locks in, so that's fine. Second last piece. A little bit of glue there. Oh, I'm excited. These models look really good. I am a huge fan of Nurgle stuff. I think the designs are really, really cool, because they can have so much bits of detail in there. And there we go. The head slides in too, at a bit of an angle. Okay, so the model is done, but we need the base. So 16 is the last one. And let's just glue it on. We don't really need to do anything special for that. And there it goes. That's it. Okay, I've got to chop this bit off because it's really annoying. There we go. There we go. Number 3, big boy. Yeah, these models are really cool. I really do like them. So let's bring that up a bit closer. And we'll have a good look at it. Lots of skulls. Lots of dead faces with maggots. Excellent. Let's bring the other ones in. So here we go. The full retinue. What I might actually do is bring the camera down to a good height. There we go. That's better. I like it. I like the look of them. I think they are very nice. Like, really nice. Let's get a real good close-up view. Yes. I love it. They just have so much detail in them. Very easy to build. Like, not an issue. Games Workshop have some very easy kits sometimes, but then have some really difficult ones. But these ones just slot together so very easily without any problems. So there's a lot of detail on them. It's going to be great to paint. I'm not much of a painter, but I'm definitely trying to get my painting skills up. And you can see there's lots of dirty mold lines that need to be cleaned up as well. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed that building, and if you're able to follow along, well done. We got there, 3 models. So if you have enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like and a comment. Tell me how you went. Tell me which one is your favourite one. Obviously, the witch is my favourite. Actually, I'll get them into view. Definitely my favourite by far. I mean, I think to me it's a no-brainer. I mean, they're all pretty cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, definitely subscribe and hit that bell so you get all the notifications, because I'm gonna pick up a few more of these, put them together, do unboxes and things. We have lots of things coming up soon. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.